Okay, so we just wrapped up. That's Doctor Who stuff. What the hell? We just wrapped up The Last of Us. Um, so people are going to they're gonna be two camps in regards to what I'm about to say. They're gonna be the people that absolutely hate what I say. No, there'll be three camps. As with most things, there'll be three camps. There'll be the people who vigorously agree with me. There'll be the people who absolutely disagree with me, and then there'll be the people who see where I'm coming from. Uh I believe, especially in regards to Last of Us season 2 episode 6, that we live in a double timeline system where two things are happening simultaneously. And what I mean by that is we live in one system where the character of Joel Miller played by Pedro Pascal, in my opinion, as has surpassed his video game adaptation. The amount of additional scenes that we've gotten with his character and also different takes to certain situations in comparison to the game has elevated the TV show character above the video game character for me. There's so much more depth. So much more depth to the character in the show than in the game. And at the exact same time, the character of Ellie, in my opinion, is being written absolutely fucking atrociously. And I don't understand how both of these things are happening simultaneously. And what I mean by that is, in regards to Joel, we get the backstory to the reason why he's like alpha protective, right? Where we see that his father was abusive and he didn't want to do that with his daughter. And he was raising Sarah to be different. And he was willing to take the beating and lie to protect Tommy, which feeds into the lie that he essentially told Ellie to keep her safe from the decisions that he basically made. But then we see that outside of Ellie and the people that he cares for, he's cold as fuck. Like the fact that um I can't remember his name because there's just a jumble of shit in my head right now. The fact that my man wanted all he wanted to do was get back Eugene. All he wanted to do was get back to his wife. All he wanted to do is get back to his wife, hear her voice, uh say his final words, hear her final words, and then he was willing to essentially be shot. And the fact that Joel couldn't even give him that shows that outside of his love for Ellie, outside of his love for Tommy, outside of his love for his new nephew, like there's a part of Joel that the protective willingness to do whatever to protect your loved one that he's kind of developed having to survive in the apocalypse has made him ruthless if you're not someone that he directly cares about, right? But at the exact same time, we see him slowly emotionally deteriorate. Where the ball scene, not the ball, they're at like a Yule ball, whatever the hell the party was for Christmas. When they're at the party, he jumps in super protective mode like he usually does. He gets told off. He goes back to his house. He's playing the thing. Ellie stops to speak with him. And during that conversation, we see him finally essentially break down. And you think that he's going to be like, I'm sorry that I stole that from you. Like, I stole you coming to terms with the fact that you might have to die to create a cure to save the world. I'm sorry that I took that from you. And it wasn't my place to take that from you. You feel as though that's the direction the character's going to go in? Fuck no. He literally is like, if I had to make the exact same choice all over again, 100%, everybody in that building is going to die. Because that's the protective side of him. He finally comes out and says it, that he sees her as his daughter. Like he loves her as his own kid because of the journey that they essentially went on. He's developed these feelings. Now, if it was Joel from, let's say, episode 1, he'd gave Ellie over to the Fireflies, no problem whatsoever, and he wouldn't ask any fucking questions. But because they went on that journey together, because he almost died and she did her best to save his life, because he He saved her from the fucking cannibals. Like, he developed a emotional attachment and created a father-daughter relationship where feelings that he felt as though he had buried for a super long time have basically essentially come back. And all of those small scenes add to a already complete character that we had in the games and that is now shining and super stellar in the show. On the complete opposite side of that, the exact same writers who have done a fantastic job with Joel, who've done a fantastic job with Dina, who I'm not even gonna say they did a fantastic job with Tommy because I have no idea what the fuck is going on with Tommy. It feels like they're dropping the ball in regards to Ellie's character. And you know, a lot of people come out and they'll say that Bella Ramsey can't fucking act. Bullshit. Like, she acted her absolute fucking ass off in this episode. I don't know whether or not it's having her opposite Pedro Pascal that elevates her, because the dialogue they give him has to be accompanied with really, really good dialogue in regards to her character, but they really need to shave off 70% of the cheese. Get rid of 70% of the cheese and have her be more emotional and angry. Because when she's doing Ellie as emotional and angry, that's directly from the fucking game. You feel as though you're literally watching a scene from the game. Like, you can close your eyes and you can listen to the characters, and it feels as though it's an argument or situation that you would have run into if you played the game and there was like some type of core memory you had to unlock. Outside of that, the way in which her character interacts with everybody, the way in which they choose to essentially do her grief, all of that fucking sucks. Like, it all sucks. And that is one of the reasons why those Ellie focused episodes, which we're going back to in the next episode, are struggling to connect with people, because there's really cringy dialogue, and there's just these really, really weird and awkward decisions that the characters essentially make that are just they just sit at the front of your mind, and it just stays there and it pisses you off. Outside of that, this episode, stellar writing, fantastic acting. Joel having to do the whole dad thing, dealing with the fact that not only did Ellie get a tattoo, not only did Ellie smoke pot, not only is Ellie gay, but she's in her super fucking rebellious phase. He was just done. He's like, I don't understand what the fuck is going on. I gotta go talk to a shrink. I love that. I love that he was going. He's basically going through that late teenage to early adult phase where your kid's just fucking rebellious that he didn't get to have with Sarah. Um, the beginnings of her moving into the shed, the patrol that they went on, the him basically lying to her and telling her go get the horses when he executes Eugene, her coming back and realizing that, oh, this motherfucker be capping. And I've seen that fucking face before. Like, you literally lied to me. Like you made that exact same face when you lie. It's kind of like when you have a homeboy who, when he lies, he has a tell. So anytime he does the tell, you know he be on that bullshit. Same situation such as that. I actually like that. Um, it annoyed me in the thing because I felt as though she was snitching, but at the exact same time, I feel as though two things basically came to a head, which is when they bring Eugene's body back and the widow is there and Joel's telling that bullshit story. When I was watching it on the on the Patreon, I was like, that motherfucker is capping. He is lying his fucking ass off. And then when pipes up and she's like, you fucking lied, or he's lying, I know a lot of people are gonna be mad at that, but at the exact same time, imagine that like your parent did something really fucking wrong. Like, they did you wrong. Like, not on some like regular shit, on some next level shit. Your parent did you wrong. And then you're watching them lie about that situation or lie about another situation. And then you just decide to be messy as fuck. And you're like, nope, motherfucker's lying. He's lying to you. He didn't do all that. Your man asked to come back to Jackson. He shot him in the fucking head. Like, I understood where she was coming from in regards to that, because it's a mix of, I'm just now realizing that you've been lying to me for like the last 5 fucking years. And then also a mix of, we could have brought this man back so he can see his fucking widow. So it's like both of those emotions basically clashed. And then she outed him the way in which she did, and she walked off. So I kind of like that. I also like the extension of the porch scene where you get a little bit more information, you get a little bit more emotion from Joel, instead of it just being I'd make the same decision again and I'd find some way in order to forgive you. That at the core is still there, but having him actually be an emotional wreck about the fact that he lied, something he was trying to bottle up and keep inside of him for as long as possible, because he knew if he told her the truth, there was a chance he would lose her completely. Him going against the grain and telling her exactly what happened, love it. Pedro Pascal acted his fucking ass off, and this episode was fucking great. Like I said, there's gonna be people who agree with me. There's gonna be people who disagree with me, and there's gonna be people who they're gonna see where I'm coming from, and they're gonna comment down below, and they're gonna form their own opinion. But let me know what you guys think about The Last of Us episode 2, The Last of Us season 2 episode 6. Comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.